HIV used to be a big cause of death in Botswana.
It'll come back.
If it comes back, hopefully it's not because of Trump stopping his medication. But if you're on medication and if you take them religiously and you've got a very low CD4 count, there's actually no reason why you should die from HIV anymore. It should be something that you live with.
Notwithstanding Trump's move.
Exactly.
He hasn't affected.
Exactly. But it's going to be really controversial. Trump will say to you, but you're spending money on weapons. And there's no war in your country. Why don't you buy AI? I'm just being controversial.
Yes.
And I know that it may be, political lines may not be very popular.
So
but
HIV
is one of the biggest causes.
Yeah.
And it's gone down a lot. The other common cause is accidents. Be it road traffic accidents, being drowning, and whatever. That features a lot on the statistics as well, especially in younger people. And as you get older, then cancers become more common. Of the common cancers that happen in this country, the cervical cancer of the prostate in men, although it's actually not as high as people think it is. It's more common to have cancer of the prostate than to die from cancer of the prostate.
Oh, I see.
If that makes sense. It doesn't kill. People live with it.
It's not supposed to kill you.
You can live with it. It's yes, and
it's controllable.
And yes, and there's a big argument sometimes about having medical screening as to whether it saves lives, and there's a school of thought which will say that if you are screened and they find that you've got prostatic cancer, and then you have all the tests, you have all the treatment, and you live for 10 years, and somebody comes back when they haven't been screened and they die of the cancer when they're 90, if they'd known they had cancer at 60, they would have had the psychological effects of having cancer for the 30 years that they knew about it.
So ignorance is bliss.
It can be. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying you should not be screened for.
Yeah, according to that school of thought, ignorance is bliss.
It's a school of thought that's actually not far from my school of thought. But anyway, that's another story. And in women, one of the things that kills them is breast cancer. There is very sadly still a high proportion of women who die from cervical cancer in this country. And cervical cancer should be a non-disease at the moment, for two reasons. One of them is that there's a very good screening test for cervical cancer, and when you're found to have a precancerous stage, it can be treated very effectively without a lot of trauma. And the other thing that's actually sort of changed cervical cancer a lot, which we'll see hopefully in the next generations, is that everybody's offered an HPV vaccine, and the vaccine should hopefully prevent 80-90% of cervical cancers that we would have had. It still doesn't mean that you can't have screening alongside it. But there could be strategies whereby if you're never found to have HPV after that, you probably don't need to have as intensive screening as you did, and then you save money from that. But the main cost, we're going from
one thing to another. But it's all connected.
I know, totally. But one thing that actually is very interesting about that is that the cost is not the cost of actually giving HPV vaccine. It's not the cost of screening. The main cost is actually treating the disease once it's found and managing it. It's quite expensive to actually treat someone with cancer and to prevent them getting cancer.
So, are you saying the treatment is worse than the cure?
No,
the cure is worse than the...
No, I'm saying that
the disease.
Even if we can prevent the disease, and in this case, I'm actually talking about cervical cancer specifically.
Cervical cancer.
Because yes, it is a cancer that lends itself to many things that you want to know about cancer. Okay, it's caused by a virus. It's sexually transmitted. It's on the whole, 95% of them are, 5% are not. And it has a precancerous stage which is very lengthy. So even if you screen every year, if you screen every 3 years, you're more likely to still pick the precancer. The people who end up with cancer, most of them have had no screening. They probably have screening when they had children like 40 years ago. And after that, they basically don't bother. And it's a shame to see someone with stage 4 disease of a cancer that's actually imminently very curable and preventable.
Just because they didn't go for screening.
Just because they don't go for screening. And